Well, my name is Reed Ernstrom, and the first company that I started was called Biolac, B-I-O-L-A-C. I was a senior at Utah State, and one of the professors in the Department of Nutrition and Food Sciences, where you get the Aggie ice cream cones, Dr. Richardson, he had been on sabbatical in New Zealand and came back and reported on his sabbatical. And afterwards I was thinking, does anybody do that in America? And he said no. And it was one of those things that I just thought about all night. So there are live cultures. So when you eat a yogurt and you read on the label it says contains live and active cultures, well, that's what this is. I asked him, is anybody doing that in America? He said no. And I said, somebody's going to do this and it ought to be me. I think that was almost that little burst of adrenaline or excitement. I go, well, wait a second. Somebody's going to get rich off this. It ought to be me. Now, the interesting thing is we didn't have any money because we were students. So I called up a company in St. Louis and I said, I need to buy some of your, it was yeast extract, you know, an ingredient that we used in this. And they said, well, now, who are you? And I said, oh, we're a dynamic young company here in the West. Okay, well, send a certified check, you know. Well, we didn't have any money. I needed a couple $1,000s. So I said, okay, everybody's got to come up with $500. But I didn't have $500 either. So I sold my car. Then I bought I mean, it wasn't a great car, but it was our family car. My wife said, you sold our car, you know, to start a company? I said, well, it'll be good. It'll be good. Like I said, we had no idea what we were doing, but we were excited about, wow, we could start our own company. So many people said, well, how can you compete against these big companies? And I said, well, I got nothing to lose. I mean, I'm in this $500. And we didn't own anything because we were students. I think a lot of people say, I'd like to try something. I mean, if I could just hit on the right thing. And I thought, this is a time to do it because I'm not risking anything really because I have nothing to lose. Now, with that in mind, I thought, now you can take the secure route and go out there and get a job, you know, put in your 40 years, get a gold watch, have a cake, and, you know, and that's it. Or you can go out there and just have passion for what you're doing. And if we don't get any other word across during this whole thing, it's passion. A few years later, a big company came along and waved a few million, and we were kids and go, okay. So,
wow.
Yeah, so it was fun. If you love what you're doing, if you truly love what you're doing, it never seems like work, and every day seems like a challenge. And that's the exciting part. Money's out there. There are banks and investors and so on. The scarce commodity is talent and passion. The willingness to go, go, go. You know, we were food scientists. We were business guys. And so I'd go into the bank and they say, well, what's your business plan? I go, my business plan is I got a lot of orders and I need to buy some raw material. What's a business plan? You know, I guess part of the problem is getting the right talent around you. Because we started to grow. The kid put in $500, left the state, and I called him up about a year later and said, would you take $25,000 for your $500? And he said, well, I don't know. I mean, it's really going good. I said, no thanks to you. We were so naive that I didn't know what we couldn't do. And I sort of took it as a challenge when someone said, well, you can't compete with these big guys. So why not? Or you can't do this. I go, I bet I can. Anything's possible if you're willing to work hard enough at it. Now that sounds like you could open any book and hear that, but it's really true. So it isn't like business travel like you see on TV. Oh, you know, you jet in and it's not a Holiday Inn commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I didn't have any money. I thought, well, I'll go up there. I won't tell them that I slept in the car last night, go to the gas station, get cleaned up, eat a peanut butter sandwich. Yeah.
Huh.
So unless you're willing to do that, it's probably not for you. Yeah, just keep your eyes open and listen to your professor. They might say something.
Yeah, you
They
never
might say
know.
something you go, wow, my professor's pretty smart.